Welcome to the Hitchhiker's Guide to Recruiting. I'm Mark Dobkin, and I'm joined here by my colleague, Cory Kazmersky. I'm a hiker and backpacker, and Cory recently lived a nomadic lifestyle while traveling the country. This is our monthly series where Cory and I guide you through exploring the landscape of job and employee search terrains. I'm actually on location here in Sun Valley, Idaho. I'm at a cabin. We're vacationing up here, visiting my in-laws while they're at the Sun Valley Music Festival this week. So obviously at a gorgeous location and kind of thinking about hikes that I can do here with my family and, requirements that I'm looking for specifically in hikes. Typically, when I'm looking for hikes, I refer to, like a hiker's guide similar to this one. This one isn't for this particular area. But I refer to a guide like this or to All Trails, where I can sort of look at, for example, this particular author has his favorite hikes here. Best wildflower hikes, best solitude hikes, best fall hikes. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And I usually dive a little bit deeper into that. Obviously, I've got the kids up here with me, so I'm looking for relatively easy hikes while I'm up here. So, distance, elevation gain is super important to me. So I'm looking for, what's the difficulty of a hike? Is it, easy? Is it moderate? Is it strenuous? So with the kids, I'm looking at short distance, very little elevation gain, difficulty rating of easy. Sometimes it depends on whether I'm looking for mountain views or looking for lakes or a hike along a river. Those kind of requirements are typically how I nail down what I'm looking for in hikes. And I know, Cory, you and I were kind of discussing before we jumped on this, Zoom call here today, about hikes in the area and the requirements that I'm looking for. And I also know that you have a couple of candidates, as a matter of fact, that are weighing a couple of offers at the moment. So we started to think about, how that can relate to my specific requirements when looking for a hike. So yeah, why don't you take it away and talk about how, weighing an offer or multiple offers might relate to my requirements for looking for a hike.
Yeah, for sure. No, I appreciate it, Mark. Yeah, and I'm definitely jealous of the background there. It's a lot better than this gloomy Chicago weather we have here. So I'm definitely jealous. I wish I could be there with you. But yeah, no, great, great question. Hopefully our videos are, in the series earlier, have helped people get to the point where maybe they are juggling multiple offers, or, maybe weighing, do they want to stay in their current role or, accept a new position. So, I think the biggest thing is, kind of going back to some of our earlier series, but, planning ahead again. Like, I think it's important to kind of lay out in your job search, like what you really are, targeting in a next role and what's going to be most important to you. Like, is it the company culture, company size? Is it just strictly compensation? Some people are, want to make a move just to make more money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But, when you are weighing your two offers that maybe you have, or maybe you're weighing your current situation compared to something new, like what is going to really make you happy. And I think you have to really sit down and talk to yourself internally, but talk to others around you, and get a sense of what is going to really help me make this decision. And there are, like I said, a lot of ways to go about that. Some people are looking for, that more startup environment where, maybe you are one of the first 20 people, and there's certainly a lot of people that excites, and, a lot of pluses of that, but, there's a lot of negatives as well. And it's something that you have to weigh. Sometimes you might take a little bit of a salary hit, but hey, maybe you have stock options that, could be worth 10 times the salary in a couple of years. And hey, is it worth it to take that initial salary bump to get some of the future perks that are available? So all important things that you have to weigh in on, kind of like your hikes and what your environment is like, whether you're doing it solo, whether your kids are with you and you need a more, easy, moderate type of hike. All things that candidates should be, kind of weighing their odds on, when getting an offer.
You brought up a few good points there, especially relating to family and or being, making this decision solo. Obviously, there's going to be differences between, hey, if you're unmarried and you're single, how is it going to impact you and your future and your career? Or if you have a family like me on a hike, you're going to want to talk to your wife, right? Or your partner, whoever that might be, and weigh the decision on how that's going to impact your family, your kids, your partner, right? So
Absolutely.
that's incredibly important. I was just thinking about a few roles that I've recently been working on, where there are specifics, and I was thinking about some candidates I spoke with recently as well. Some other important things to factor in is the 401k. I've recently spoken with a lot of candidates who have been through the process with multiple companies, and there's a lot of variations between company matches. Typically, on average, I think it's somewhere around 4%, 4 or 5% company
Yeah,
match.
that
But
sounds
I've
right.
even a lot higher recently, which really surprised me. So that might be something that a candidate might want to weigh. I'm also working on a number of sales roles as well. So candidates might want to weigh what the other benefits are. Is there a company
Absolutely.
car that's provided, or what kind of like reimbursement do you get for traveling, for mileage, for gas, whatever it is? So you might want to factor in those particular things, just depending on the type of industry or position that you're working in. There are going to be
Absolutely.
those small little
Yeah, and
that are going to be important to you.
yeah, absolutely. And those little tweaks really do mean, a lot more to some people, over the other.
Mhm.
And that's something that, I think companies and hiring managers need to keep in mind of, how are we positioning ourselves in the market to be able to make the strongest offer. Yeah, you might offer, a salary that's 10 to 20,000 higher than some of your competition, but hey, is your competition offering a better 401k match, cheaper benefits, more, paid time off, better
Mhm.
maternity, paternity leave? Like all of those things are things that candidates, factor into a decision. So it's something that I think hiring managers and companies in general need to really look at it and be able to evaluate what a total package looks like rather than just, hey, well, we're offering the biggest base, possible, or hey, our bonus program, our 401k plan benefits are incredible, but our base salary is going to be a little bit lower because of that. Well,
Mhm.
that base does matter to a lot of people. So, not just important for candidates, but hiring managers and companies in general to look at.
Absolutely. Yeah. And for other people, the salary isn't everything. Folks in sort of later stages of their career, salary is not important. Maybe it's a work-life balance. What kind of opportunities do people have to have a flexible work schedule, for example? Or what kind of medical benefits are important to folks? Maybe somebody's got a family member that's under their benefits plan, and perhaps has a disability. So a specific provider might be important to that particular candidate, and being able to stay with their same provider on a new benefits plan could be important. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Even just passion projects in general, like as people, I think,
good point.
progress through their career, I think they're more liable to take a project that is really ingrained with, their passions and their
Mhm.
personalities, things like that, and care less about the money. So that's a great point.
Yeah, good. Well, hey, fantastic advice here today, Cory. Glad we got to chat about this subject. So, as we wrap up another episode of The Hitchhiker's Guide to Recruiting, keep in mind that the lessons from the trail can guide you to success. Stay curious, stay adaptable, and remember that every step counts.